another meeting, talking about how things are going to roll once students get into the building. So I'm recording our lesson today, and it's not going to be a long one. So at this point, you guys should have chosen a topic in which you would like to write your personal narrative on. Then you have already done your pre-writing, okay? And now we're ready for our outline, okay? So this sheet is going to help us kind of organize our thoughts and start putting our thoughts into paragraph form. So in your writing folder on Schools PLP, I've uploaded kind of a new subfolder called Week 4, and it has the dates for this week. And if you look right below, there's a personal narrative outline, okay? Oh, let me go back. Pull it up this way. Okay, and it looks like this. This may even look like something that you've used with Miss Anderson before. So you guys should be pretty familiar with it, hopefully. So here's the deal. If you have a printer, you can certainly print this out and fill in the blanks. That's absolutely fine. If you don't have a printer, please don't go buy a printer. You can simply use notebook paper to write in your sentences. That is fine too. Whatever you choose to do is fine with me, okay? So pause me just for a second while you go and grab a pen. If you want to take a second to hit print, you can do that. If you're using your source book to record your answers, that's fine as well. All right, guys, so today I'm going to model for you what your outline should look like, okay? So a few sessions ago, you guys already told me the purpose of a personal narrative. You guys told me that a purpose is to entertain the audience. Okay? So as you're writing, you're going to want to make sure that what you're saying is exciting. Okay? It's not boring. You're not giving away all the exciting parts at the beginning. We're going to want to have a build-up. Okay? So we want to keep our audience entertained and engaged. Okay? You guys also told me that your audience can be other students, can be parents, other adults. Anybody can read your personal narrative, okay? And so whenever you guys did your Padlet activity where you chose your topic for your personal narrative, I think that I chose the topic of my first day of teaching and how scary that was. However, when I was cleaning out my garage a couple of weeks ago, I actually found my personal narrative that I wrote in 4th grade, and I'm going to bring that in so that you guys can see it. And I wrote about my very first time going to Disney World. So as I'm doing my outline, I'm going to be talking about the events that happened on that very first time that I went to Disney World, okay? So paragraph 1, tell what happened. So this is where you're going to kind of lay out the topic of your personal narrative. So I'm going to put my family and I went to Disney World. You're going to write in whatever applies to your topic. Okay. Now we're going to write in where and when did it happen. So for me, Disney World is in Orlando, Florida. And this was the year 2000, so 20 years ago. My goodness. Okay. So go ahead and write in the information that applies to your personal narrative. All right. Who was there? So it was me, my parents, my grandparents, my aunts, and my cousins. There were 10 of us who went on this trip all together. It was complete chaos at the airport. It was insane. We missed our flight because my granny was walking so slow. Okay, so go ahead and write in who was there in terms of your event or your topic for your personal narrative. Okay, and if it was just you, that's fine too. Or if it was you and a pet, that's cool. Okay, so tell me kind of the characters that are going to appear in your narrative. Okay, so that's all the information that's going to go into paragraph 1. Okay, so for paragraph 2, all right, so for paragraph 2, we are going to talk about how it started. So when we're talking about it, we're talking about the actual event, okay? So maybe I will write, and I'm going to start writing in complete sentences here, okay? So maybe I will write something like, first, my family and I had to wake up very early in the morning to catch our flight. Okay, so go ahead and write the first thing that happened. How did the whole thing start? Okay. And if you need to pause me at any point because you need more time to write, that's cool. Just hit pause and then pick up whenever you're ready. So next, I'm going to talk about what happened after we woke up to catch our flight. So let's see here. We drove to Lexington. To the Bluegrass Airport. We took 2 planes to get to Orlando. Okay. So now that we have the second event, we're going to keep going. Again, you can pause me. If you need more time to write, that's absolutely fine. Okay. Okay, so next, we finally arrived in Disney World. After we got off the plane, actually, I should kind of revise this to say we finally arrived in Orlando. Because you don't just take a plane straight to Disney World, okay? After we got off the plane, we took a bus to Disney World. I was able to see so many sights from the window. So notice how I'm giving you kind of like a chronological account of this event, all right? So I'm going to flip to the, actually, I'm not going to flip to the back because it's just another page here. All right, so after we took the bus to Disney World, next I'm going to talk about going to, so Disney World is comprised of like 4 different theme parks within one big theme park. And the first park that we went to was called Magic Kingdom. So that's what I'm going to talk about here. Okay. Next, my family and I went to Magic Kingdom. I was so amazed to actually be seeing Cinderella's castle in real life. Okay. So this particular outline is for a 3-paragraph personal narrative. If you need to add in more paragraphs to actually tell your story, that's fine. And we certainly don't want a 10-paragraph personal narrative. In 5th grade, when we start writing our essays, we usually write 5 paragraphs. So if you need a couple more paragraphs to fit in more details, please feel free to do that. Just for the sake of this outline, I'm going to jump to my conclusion. But if you need more space and more paragraphs to write your narrative, please feel free to do that. If you think that you can get your narrative written in 1 paragraph and are ready for the conclusion, that is fine too. So I, of course, have a lot more that I could say, but for the sake of this, I'm just going to go ahead and hop down to the conclusion. So you're going to tell us how it ended, okay? So maybe I'll say something like, on the last day, we woke up and had our last breakfast before heading to the airport. The same bus that brought us to Disney also took us back to the airport. Okay. And then I want to know how you felt. So, thinking about your event or your topic, how did it make you feel at the end? Okay. So, how I felt. My first trip to Disney World was truly magical. Spending time with my family was very fun also. From that point on, I've been a Disney World fanatic. Now, if any of you guys had Miss Rose or Miss Meek in kindergarten, those are real Disney World fanatics. Those girls are insane. I love Disney World, but I don't know if I love Disney World as much as Miss Rose or Miss Meek. Okay? So at this point, you should be working on your outline. Okay? And when we come back together on Monday, we'll take a look at a couple of these. We'll work through some of these, and then within the next week or so, we will start publishing our personal narratives, putting them into paragraph form. We will type them on Google Docs, and I will print them and put them in the hallway. Even though you guys won't be here